It's amazing how tiny barriers can stop you and hinder your progression and success.
That's it. Like whether you're running a business, whether you're trying to optimize your hormones, whether you're just trying to have healthier habits. It's so true. There's little tiny blocks that are literally stopping us living our dreams.
It's just being prepared a lot of the time. Just making sure you've got healthy food in the house, making sure that when you come downstairs in the morning, you've got your workstation set up or you've written what you need to do the night before. So you're not sitting there for the first hour going, oh my God, what am I doing? And it's simple things. They're not easy actually, because especially when you're running a business and you've got children and you've got a busy life, it's hard to implement those things. But I think if you can, it will make things so much easier.
Okay, welcome back to the Founders Flow podcast for another episode. This week, it's just Layla and myself, and we thought we would bring in some little like summer tips, summer vibes, hormonal tips, nourishment tips that we found work really well for us that we feel are worth sharing, right, Layla?
Absolutely. There's so many things you can do, just little tweaks in your daily routine to help, improve your life.
Yeah, and do you know what I love is the fact that we're talking about summer tips. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see us both just sat in black.
Oh, we are in black. Oh no, we're twinning.
And the weather at the time of recording, who knows
spoiling.
what it's going to be like when we release it.
Yeah.
It's stunning, isn't it?
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
I love it. Yeah. And it gets me excited to talk about this. I don't know about you, but I feel like when the weather's good, I get like such a huge lease of life.
It's so motivating. It's motivating, isn't it?
Yeah. It makes me a bit, I know I need to stay present, but I feel like it makes me a bit nervous for winter.
We're out of that now. Thank the Lord.
Yeah. Literally. Do you want to kick us off with your number one?
Yeah. So I was just thinking about things that I've been doing recently to help kind of balance my hormones, kind of get me more motivated, get me in the mood for summer, because as we come out of winter, it does seem like everything just seems easier, doesn't it? The evenings are lighter. Oh, I just feel like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. And I think it's a good time to put in kind of, you have your New Year's resolutions at the beginning of January, but actually, according to the pagan calendar, May, or I think it's March, April, beginning of spring is when you should be making your New Year's resolutions, because that's when everything obviously comes into bloom, comes into blossom. So, one of my tips, I think, is getting those New Year's resolutions to stick is habit stacking. And I don't know if we've spoken about this before actually, but there's a great book called Atomic Habits, whereby one of the systems he uses is habit stacking. And that is so you will build your habits on top of things that you do ordinarily on a daily basis. So for example, when you're brushing your teeth, after you brush your teeth, you take your supplements, and it's easy to remember to take the supplements because you do it after you brush your teeth. So for me, I'm really trying to remember to take my supplements. I do most of the time, but when I come downstairs, I put the kettle on, and then one of the things I want to do is drink water. I need to drink more water in my life. So I chug a pint of water while the kettle's boiling, and then I take my supplements, and that's how I remember to do things. So it's just a simple way of reminding yourself, because it's so easy to forget. And also it's so overwhelming when you've got so many things that you've got planned to, improve your life. And then you forget to implement them.
Yeah, I take my supplements, shameless plug, and I take my supplements with my second coffee. Oh. So I have 2 coffees a day. I don't eat first thing in the morning because the start of the day is always carnage for me. But that second coffee is normally the sign that I've either done my workout, sorted Frankie, done, and then it's like second coffee, supplements.
Yeah, another tip I have for remembering your supplements in the evening is when I make my bed in the morning, I put my supplements on my pillow so I don't forget. I literally cannot forget because they are on my pillow. So when I get into bed, I can't forget to take them before I go to bed. So that's another good way to remind yourself to do things.
Yeah, and also I guess on that as well is maybe having a tub downstairs.
Oh yeah, I've got
for first thing in the morning.
Obviously,
then a tub by the bed.
Yeah, I do that because I've got a gazillion bottles of my obviously at home. I do have a bottle downstairs and a bottle by my bed, just so I don't have to go up and down the stairs. Because it's amazing how tiny barriers can stop you and hinder your progression and success.
That's it. Like whether you're running a business, whether you're trying to optimize your hormones, whether, you're just trying to have healthier habits. It's so true. There's little tiny blocks that are literally stopping us living our dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just being prepared a lot of the time. Just making sure you've got healthy food in the house, making sure that when you come downstairs in the morning, you've got your workstation set up, or you've written what you need to do the night before. So you're not sitting there for the first hour going, oh my God, what am I doing? And, it's simple things. They're not easy actually, because especially when you're running a business and you've got children and you've got, a busy life, it's hard to implement those things. But I think if you can, it will make things so much easier.
Yeah, it's similar. So like every Sunday, Tom and I will sit down and work out and plan when we're both training that week. So exercise is really important to both of us. So we literally sit down and we're like, right, let's look at his work. Let's look at my work. Am I in London? When are your rest days? When are my rest days? When are you training? And I guess like that is a bit like habit stacking, in the sense that we treat our training and we treat those sorts of habits just as important as we would the food shop.
Yeah, that's really good. James and I tried to do that, but we always clash. Like this morning, he was getting ready to go to the gym and I said, oh, well, actually I'm booked in this morning, so you can't go. So yeah, we haven't worked that one out yet, but that's a really good idea. I think I'm going to start implementing that, Chloe.
Because of his work, I feel like I get the first say.
Oh,
so that's good. Yeah, so like he didn't start work until 9 today, so technically he could have gone to the gym, but I was like, nah, I'm going for a run, sorry. I love that. So I would actually go on from the exercise then. I would go on and say this more so in the summer, not only for vitamin D levels, but also I am a big fan of getting, it's my coach. I feel like I talk about Meg a lot on here, but she talks about highway hypno. And I get a lot of really good downloads and good ideas and good creativity when I do this. And they're simply walking more. So if I need to pop to the shop, I would carve out a bit more time for me to be able to walk to the shop than drive down to the shop. And whether that means I will habit stack in the sense that I'll do my emails on my phone while walking to the shop, or, I'll run to the shop. So then I've got a bit of more movement in, that sort of thing. In the summer, I definitely try and walk more, and like intentionally as well. So it's like, whether that is just running errands or doing my emails, or for me, my job's like my business is all creative, isn't it? So I can edit a load of my over ads.
I love you do that. I would not be able to do two things at once at that level. No.
Yeah, I know. People have often seen me out running and they were like, oh, I saw you were on your phone. I was like, oh yeah, I was editing a video. And they were like, why are you running? I was like, look, it's taking practice, okay? When you're committed to your fitness and you're committed to your work, you sometimes have to just make the two work and go.
That's incredible. That is multitasking on another level. I'll tell you what, James and I have been doing. We've bought weighted walking vests, or weighted backpacks, sorry. They're actually called rucking sacks, which is quite an interesting name. But yeah, he's got a 15 kilogram and I've got a 9 kilogram. And you slot it in the backpack and then you put it on and you do your morning walk. But what's great about that, because I usually do between 3 and 5 kilometers every morning, most mornings when I drop off the children, I do a little circuit. But it really adds a lot. Obviously, it adds a lot of weight. So your heart rate goes up. So actually, you're kind of doubling your output, I suppose, on that walk. It's brilliant.
I've seen something about like rucking being like a bit of a new up and coming trend. Have you heard of paddle? The tennis paddle?
Yeah, and there's pickleball as well. That's an American thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like rucking is gonna gain momentum because it's low intensity, isn't it? So if you're on a hormonal journey or a fertility journey and you need to keep your inflammation down, walking's perfect for it. Add some weight in and you're naturally going to be like you say, elevated heart rate, working your body that little bit more. I love it.
Okay, my next tip is to ditch the all or nothing thinking, because it's so easy. I think when we start out thinking it's summer, it's, April, May, June, it's coming into summer, I'm gonna have to wear a bikini. Right, I'm gonna be healthy. I'm not gonna drink more than 2 glasses of wine tonight, or all of this. And then you go out and go to a barbecue. The weather's great. The Prosecco's flowing, the barbecue's on, there's loads of crisps and dips, and you eat it all and you drink it all, and you wake up in the morning and think, oh my goodness, I messed it all up. I'm just going to carry on. So my advice would be, and I've done this multiple times as well, but what I'm really trying to do now is wake up and think it's a new day. It's a new morning. It's a new Layla. I can do this. Let's just not ruin it all. Let's just start back where we were, get on the healthy eating plan again and just start where we left off, and don't kind of ruin the whole week just because you had one bad night.
Yeah. And it's fine to like let yourself go. Like, do you know what I mean? It's fine to relax and like enjoy things. And I think there's certain times where, it's more healthy to choose the crisps and dip than it is to not, right? And it's like you said, just not beating yourself up the next day. I've actually got a story, guys. I'm about to fully out myself. I was on a hen do on Saturday, and you talking about the all or nothing. I went all.
Oh, did you?
I went so all. My first drink was at 2:30.
Wow.
And I was in bed throwing up at 6.
Oh, Chloe, you don't drink that much though, do you? You're not a big drinker.
No, I don't drink that much. The last time I drank was November, and I just like fully sent it. And as someone that doesn't drink that much, last drank in November, and is like a mum, like as in like, because I don't drink that much, the hangovers aren't worth it for me. I was that bad. My dad had to stay the night.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's like going back to when you're 15 and we're drinking like, I don't know what the kids drink now, but yeah,
it was so bad.
Oh,
it was so bad. I woke up fully clothed at 1:30 in the morning, convinced I was somewhere else.
You must have felt terrible. How was the next day?
Well, I wasn't too bad, you see, because I was home throwing up by 6. I pretty much slept. Like, I slept it sort of all off. You think my last drink was probably at like 5:00. So I thankfully wasn't too bad, but that could have, it was bad. So yeah, I'm totally with you on the all or nothing.
No, or just don't beat yourself up about it. You can spend too much time being down on yourself that you can't keep to your goals, but you've got to have fun once in a while.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that finding the joy is really key, which is actually my next one, is like trying to reach for things that give you a higher vibration. So I spent a lot of time in the winter going deep. So like working on like, okay, what's holding me back? What things do I need to work through? Like, what goals do I want? And I felt like I was doing lots of like inner healing, and I feel like I can sometimes get caught in that. I can sometimes be like, right, what's my next block? What am I working through? And forgetting that actually there's so much joy to be had. And sometimes I just need to raise my vibration. And I was told from my coach, obviously, I'm going to bring her back up again.
Exit.
That in-betweeners thing.
She's amazing. Yeah.
The in-betweeners thing when they start going beep, 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 beep every time someone they bring up the helper. But she says about watching people's videos that make you feel high vibe and borrowing their energy. So like, when you spend time with people that make you feel good,
yes,
like think about like borrowing their energy. So if you want to raise your vibration, go and watch something or go and listen to something that naturally makes you feel good, because you can borrow that energy. And I just love that now. Like if I'm ever like on Instagram or whatever, like Davina McCall, for me, I feel like she's got such good energy.
Oh, she really does.
I could watch one of her videos or listen to one of her podcasts, and naturally I'm just like a little bit more uplifted. And I just love that. So especially in the summer when, it's meant to be, the weather is meant to be better and the days are longer and there's so much more positivity around from pretty much everyone, isn't there? That I just feel like I'm just going to try and find the joy and raise the vibration, because when we raise the vibration, we attract more, right?
We do. We love all that as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it is about who you follow on. I mean, social media, we're all on social media too much, probably. You're on it probably more than others, that's part of your job. But I think it's really important just to have a little bit of a cull every once in a while and be like, do you know what? There's a couple of people I follow and I'm just like, oh my God, this person, I just can't even, I have to like swipe past it because I just can't watch them because they just annoy me. And I'm like, why don't I just unfollow them? But I just forget to unfollow them. They keep popping up.
I've got a tip. So, there's sometimes politics around unfollowing people. So say there's a friend that every time they post, you're just like, oh, I don't. So I'll give a full example. When I was trying to have a better relationship with exercise and food, I followed a lot of fitness people. And also a lot of my friends at the time were personal trainers. They were like exercising a lot. And that's something that I actually needed to look at to be able to work at my relationship with food. Instead of unfollowing them because they were my friends, and that might be a little bit political, I just muted them.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
So they didn't know that I wasn't seeing their posts, and there was no like politics around it, which is wild that there is politics, but it's 2025 and there is. And but I muted them, so I didn't see any of it. But then they also weren't, I don't know, offended if I unfollowed.
That leads into my last one, which is actually, it's about reducing inflammation in my body, because I think we all have way too much inflammation. The lifestyle we're living really encourages just inflammation from the food we eat, what we drink, the exercise that we do, which is why I thought it followed on from what you were just saying. So I've actually really reduced, you won't believe this, but I've reduced my exercising. So I'm not doing any more kind of massive kind of HIIT cardio anymore. I was doing that 3 or 4 times a week. Because I've really been looking into cortisol and stress and inflammation and how that can affect your hormones, especially in perimenopause. And I knew for a while that probably me doing all that hardcore exercise, and I had to do it because I was training for High Rock, so I did have an excuse. But I've cut it out, and I feel so much better. I really, really do. And I've also started cutting out a lot of processed food, sugars. I've even cut coffee as of I decreased it from 5 or 6 cups a day to 1, and yesterday I didn't have any.
Sorry, Layla, I'm just gonna 5 or 6 cups of coffee.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
you have stamina.
I know.
I would literally be like, I think I'd be like climbing the walls and like pulling my eyeballs out.
I know. Well, I did get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, so by lunchtime I probably had about 3 or 4. And then I have another 2 in the afternoon. But yeah, I was completely addicted to coffee.
And you feel good?
I felt terrible yesterday. I didn't have a cup of coffee yesterday. I had a massive headache. So I had to go to bed at like, I don't know, I think I laid down in the living room about 6 o'clock because I couldn't my head was going to explode. But, and I was watching one of my fitness influencers that I love called Alicia E. She was saying actually I think this is going to go kind of cover into what you're going to talk about next, but find one thing that's really hard and nail it. Like, find the thing that you cannot give up that's really difficult. Me, it's coffee. And just do it for a month. Be like, cut it out for a month. But for me, coffee has been my nemesis. I just love it. I love it.
Tom and I have been doing that. So since the start of the year, we choose one challenge.
Oh, I love it.
Every single month that we're going to do. So February, we both gave up sugar. Tom lost ridiculous amounts of weight. Yeah, I actually got really ill. But we think what happened was where we were reducing our sugar, we weren't then replacing the calories. So we were just in huge deficits and not really thinking about it. So all we did was just remove a food group and then didn't think, oh, we're active, we're healthy, in fact, we're really active. We need to make sure we're getting that energy back in somehow.
Were you saying you cut carbs then?
Yeah, so that was basically chocolate cakes, that sort of thing. We were still having like bread, pasta and things like that. Then this month, so I then decided I was not going to do a challenge where I remove a food group again. It's not healthy for me. Whereas Tom did bread this month, and he's had to break it a couple of times. He was on a stag do at the weekend, and I don't feel like that would have gone down well.
No.
Oh, sorry guys, I'm not eating bread. But I love the challenge of, for me, mine was to do a hypnosis every single day for April. But I love that like challenge. Just do it for 30 days and just prove to yourself. I feel like it builds up your confidence bucket, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, see, I can do that.
It does. But it's hard. Like, I can see if someone said to me, you can't eat bread. I'll be like, fine, it's not a problem. Or you can't eat chocolate. I'll be like, I like chocolate, but I could live without it for 30 days. Coffee, on the other hand, is really hard for me, really, really hard. But I have, but when I have reduced my processed food and my sugar, I've upped my protein as well, because I am still weight training a lot. So I've been eating a lot of protein, and I feel good. I feel really good at the moment. So yeah, I guess, yeah, it's just nourishing your body, reducing the inflammation by cutting out processed sugars and processed food, because there's just so much available, isn't there? And actually, when I go into the supermarket and I'm like, right, I need something to eat, but I don't want it to be processed. In fact, we were coming back from from Brighton over Easter bank holiday weekend, and I was hungry, so we stopped at 3 petrol stations for me to grab something to eat because I didn't want to have anything processed. I couldn't buy anything in any of the shops. So I said to my son, Louis, look, we've walked into this shop. I just want to buy something that hasn't got multiple ingredients in it, no sugar or anything. And I can't buy anything. Isn't that crazy? There's aisles and aisles and aisles of food, and there was not one thing for me to eat.
Yeah, I find like garages and things like that. It's a bit like Tom on his stag do, right? Like he was like, Chloe, all I did was eat bread at the weekend. He's not, and that was the one thing he gave up. He was like, because a group of lads in Munich on a stag do, you need convenience, and bread is the only option, really.
Yeah. Well, it's not bad to have, is it? It's not the end of the world, but yeah, it does make you realise when you try and remove it, and you're like, I'm not going to eat it, and you're like, oh, actually, there's nothing for me to eat.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, yeah, he felt like he ate a lot of bread, and it was just like, I don't know, he's got a good relationship with food. He was just like, I'm just going to try it. I love fruit toast for my pre-training snack.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds good.
Bread with raisins in. So
I see what you mean. Yes. Oh, that's delicious.
So there was no way I was giving up bread at all. But yeah, when you said about the influencer that says try and do one hard thing, yeah, that does lead on to my last one, which is eat the frog first. And I can't claim this because this is from a book, isn't it? Eat the frog. Yeah. The idea is doing a hard thing or doing the hard thing first thing in the morning. Whether I'm always an exercise girl in the morning. Sorry, if I have to train in the afternoons, I won't do it. I love to like get up and get it done. Same with like taking supplements. Like I'm not someone that I can leave it all until the afternoon. I need to get it done in the morning. Same with my work. I would rather. I think you and I have spoken about this. Yeah. I can smash loads of work done in the morning.
Yes.
But come the afternoons, I'm like,
nah. Past 2:00.
Let's just have a nice time.
My brain shuts down. Like over home time.
I just love it. Like if I've written a list down, I'm like, right, what's the one thing I actually don't want to do today? Right, let's just crack on and do that one first. Although I'm looking at my list for the rest of the day and I'm not actually quite sure there's many that I want to do. So right, if you guys have any other summer tips or tips for or just general wellness tips, can you let us know? Come find us on Instagram at MyOverCare, and also join our WhatsApp group where we want to hear your tips, because I feel like sharing's caring, right? It's why we started this podcast. We want to share more stories, more tips and things like that. So make sure you come over and join us. And Layla, I shall see you in the next episode.
See you then.